I'm Josh with the CSN Centers for Academic Success, and this is part 4 of an 8-part series on essential skills to master for your English course. If you have any questions on the topics we addressed today, visit the centers at any of the main campuses. Now, we've talked about the writing process in another video, and in that process is the step of pre-writing. Typically, you'll be outlining your content to establish a flow of your ideas, and we'll be talking about outlining in just a moment, but there is also something called reverse outlining. This is a method of outlining that starts with a finished essay, and it's primarily meant to be used as a revision tool. We'll also address MLA formatting within the context of Microsoft Word. Using the standardized formatting can make a huge difference in the sense of aesthetics and legitimacy of your paper. So, here we go with outlining. When you're in the pre-writing stage of the writing process, this is something that you'll find helpful before you actually start writing the essay. It'll help you gather all of your main points about a topic and give you a chance to look at it from a top-down perspective to see how everything will flow together. Let's take a look at a basic essay structure. For the sake of this demonstration, we're going to build a 5-paragraph essay, but just know that even though you'll be writing longer essays than this, the premise of the structure should hold true. We start our essay with the introductory paragraph. Think of the intro as a funnel where you hook your audience in a broad, general context of your topic. Consider how you might bring a friend into a conversation at a party, and you're getting them up to speed in that conversation so that they're not left wondering what's going on. That's how you should think of your hook at the beginning of this paragraph. From there, narrow down to your thesis statement, which will dictate the talking points for each following paragraph. Moving on from the introduction, we get into our first body paragraph. These will start out with a topic sentence that addresses one of the main points of your thesis. Continue on to provide support and research, and an explanation of how this information you provided links back to your thesis. This structure will be maintained throughout the remainder of your essay's body paragraphs, and you may have more than one paragraph dedicated to one thesis point. When you've finished with your last body paragraph, you'll cap it off with your conclusion. It will feel structurally similar to your introduction, starting with your thesis points, likely reworded or rephrased, reiterating the main points and their connection to your thesis, and then opening up at the end with final thoughts on the topic, such as a proposed solution to the problem, a quote, or even a call to action. And now let's get an idea of what reverse outlining is. This is a useful technique that's used to help you see the organizational structure that already exists in your paper, or any reading that you might have, and catch any potential organizational problems. Now, you want to take note that this is mostly helpful after you've written your essay, based on the outline that you built. Reverse outlining follows a 2-step repeatable process, and this usually works best with a printed copy of your essay. In the left-hand margin, write down the topic of each paragraph. Try to use as few words as possible. When reading, these notes should work as quick references. When revising your own work, these notes should tell you if each paragraph is focused and clear. In the right-hand margin, write down how the paragraph topic advances the overall argument of the text. Again, be brief. When reading, these notes allow you to follow the logic of the essay, making it easier for you to analyze or discuss later. When revising your own work, these notes should tell you if each paragraph fits in the overall organization of your paper. At this point, you should be able to determine if any reshuffling needs to happen with your paragraphs. Hopefully now you're close to a point where you've finished revising, or maybe you just want to make sure you formatted correctly. Either way, we're going to jump into Microsoft Word real quick to give you the basics on MLA formatting. In Microsoft Word, set your font for the paper to be 12-point Times New Roman. You'll also want to double space your document by clicking Paragraph Settings. Under spacing, in the after value, bring that down to 0. On line spacing, select double. Be sure to set your margins to 1 inch on all sides. Create a header that numbers all pages consecutively by double-clicking in the header area, typing your last name, and enabling pagination in the header. In the upper left-hand corner of the page, write your name, your instructor's name, the course, and the date. Double-spaced from that heading, your title will be centered, and another double spacing from the title will be the first line of your work. Wow, now that wasn't too painful, was it? If it was, that's okay. It gets easier with repetition. And believe me, you'll be formatting that way for a while. Before we go, we have some top tips from Angela Spires about reverse outlining and MLA formatting.
Hello, my name is Angela Spires, and I'm an instructor of English here at the College of Southern Nevada on the Henderson campus. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today, and they're going to be about Microsoft Word and writing outlines. First, Microsoft is an amazing tool. At the very beginning of the semester, go into your font, change it to Times New Roman 12-point font, go into your paragraph, set it to double space with 0 before and after spacing, and set these defaults for all future papers. And your formatting for your papers is set for the rest of your Word use on that computer. In addition, Word is super intuitive. It will tell you with the blue squiggly line if you have incorrect words, punctuation, and the red squiggly line where you have spelling errors. But it also can give you synonyms, definitions, and even search things on the web for you and help with formatting of your works cited page or your references page. In addition to this intuition, it extends to outlines. If you start a page with a large I, which is Roman numeral 1, and hit period and space, it's automatically going to format into outline format. Okay, and all you have to do is hit enter for your next body paragraph, or enter in tab to have more details about that body paragraph. So use Word's intuition and let it help you create really strong papers throughout the semester. Tip number 2, use your roadmap. Outlines should contain your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the roadmap to your entire paper. They're going to help you set up your outline. So in your introduction paragraph, go ahead and include your full thesis statement as you have it so far. Now, thesis statements may develop and change, and that's perfectly okay. But when you're setting up an outline, it is the roadmap to your paper. So it should also show you how your body paragraphs are laid out and what elements you might want to include in your introduction or conclusion. And this all goes back to your thesis statement within your outline. Tip number 3, make it progressive. Outlining may seem like a chore, and you may think, I don't ever use an outline, or if I change the outline, what's the purpose of having it on here? But the purpose is the more progressive you get with your outline, the more information you have to automatically change information in your paper. If you're using full topic sentences, if you include background information and your thesis statement and your body paragraphs of information, including what source you're going to use for that paragraph, then the more information you have that can be transferred straight into your papers so that you have it all laid out. So you can have an outline with full sentences that is so detailed that basically you can take your outline and then turn it into your paper. And again, if something doesn't feel right when you're writing the paper, you still have that capability of copying and pasting and moving and deleting within Word. I hope these tools were helpful and that you use them and that you're having a great college experience here at CSN.
Thanks for sticking around and watching this episode. Again, visit the Centers for Academic Success on any of the campuses if you need any additional guidance on the topics we addressed today. See you next time.